Welcome back to the series Building Web APIs with Azure Functions on Serverless Hub. This is the last video of the series. We have already implemented the To-Do Items API using Azure Functions and hosted the web app with storage account static websites. In this video, we will be securing the API with Azure B2C tenant. We will be using OpenID protocol. You are not required to know about OpenID to follow on with the video, but I recommend that you get an understanding of the concept. I will add a link to a YouTube video explaining the concept. Let's get started. Let's create an Azure AD B2C tenant. Let's go into the resource group, click on Add, and search for Azure Active Directory B2C. And click Create, and choose Create a new Azure AD B2C tenant. Let's type in the organization name. And the domain name. We will leave the country as it is, and it has already selected the subscription and the resource group. Let's click on Review and Create. Let's click on Create. It may take a few minutes to provision the tenant. Once the tenant is created, let's go into the tenant. We need to represent our web app and the API inside the B2C tenant. We can do this using app registrations. Let's create an app registration for our API. Let's type in a name. We will go with the third option for supported account types. Let's go back to the Functions app API and copy the base URL. And let's add it as the redirect URI. And let's click on Register. We need to create a scope for authorization. Let's go to Expose an API and let's set application ID URI. Let's remove the default GUID. Let's give the name To-Do Item API and click Save. Let's click on Add a Scope. We will give the scope name todo.owner. Let's fill in the display name and the description. Let's click on Add Scope. We can go to Integration Assistant to validate our configuration. Let's select the application type. This registration is for the API. Let's select Web API and click on Evaluate My App Registration. It will give us an all green output. Let's create another app registration for our web app. Let's name our app registration for the web app. Again, we will go for the third option for the supported account types. And this time it's going to be a single page application. And let's add our web app URL as the redirect URI. We can get the URL by going to storage account, static website, and we can copy the primary endpoint. Let's click Register. Let's grant the web app to access the API. Let's go to API permissions. Let's click on Add a permission. There are many scopes published for many APIs. Let's go to My APIs. Let's select the permission for the API app. Let's add a tick to the scope and click on Add Permissions. To confirm the add permission, click on Grant Admin Consent for Serverless B2C. Click Yes. Then let's go to Integration Assistant to validate our configuration. Let's select Single Page App as our application type and we will be calling APIs. and click on Evaluate My App Registration. It should give us a green flag as well. Now we need to allow users to sign up and sign in. For that we can use Azure AD B2C user flows. Let's create a user flow. Let's select the type sign up and sign in. Let's click create. Let's name our flow. Azure B2C tenants support multiple identity providers such as Google, Facebook and Twitter. Since we haven't set up any of these, let's go with local accounts. Select email sign up. Let's use the user attributes that we need to include in the tokens. We will select given name, surname and the email address. Click create. We can see our user flow listed. Let's open it. Let's go back to the function app and click on authentication. Then click on add identity provider. From the identity provider drop down, let's choose Microsoft. For the app registration type, use existing app registration. To fill out the details, let's go back to the Azure B2C tenant. Click on run user flow. Copy the URL. Paste the URL in the issuer URL text box. Let's go back to the B2C tenant. Let's go to the app registrations and open up API app registration and copy the application ID. Let's paste it in the application ID text box and click add. Now let's go back to Thunder client and do a GET request. It will fail. It will fail with unauthorized status. So we can confirm that authentication is in place for the API. Now let's update the web app so it can authorize the API requests. Let's download the To-Do app with Auth. I will add this GitHub URL in the description box so you can download as well. Once it's downloaded, unzip it. And open the app.config. We have few config values to update. Let's get the API URL first. Let's go to the function app. And go to overview. And let's copy the URL. And let's update it in the app.config. Let's get the client ID from the B2C tenant. Let's go to app registrations. For the web app, we need to open the web app registration. Let's copy the client ID and update the config. And let's go to user flows to grab the authority URL. Let's open up the user flow. And click on run user flow. Let's copy this URL and let's go back to config and modify the URL that we just copied. Notice the portion of the URL that we removed. You should do the same. Let's copy the web app URL. Let's go to the storage account, static website, and get the primary endpoint. And finally, let's get the scope. Let's go to app registrations in the B2C tenant. Open up the web app. Go to API permissions and click on todo.owner and copy the full path. And that should be it. Let's go back to the storage account and open up the web container. And let's upload. And let's replace the web app files. Make sure you tick the overwrite if files already exist checkbox and click upload. Once the upload is complete, let's go back to our web app. Now the web app should prompt you to log in. In case you get a pop-up blocked alert, make sure to allow pop-ups for this URL. Since we are yet to register with the web app, let's go and sign up now. Let's verify the email ID. Let's fill in the required details. And let's click on create. This will register our email with the B2C tenant using the user flow that we created. And we should be automatically logged in, but we are not seeing any to-do items on the screen. Let's go to DevTools and see. Let's press F12 and go to DevTools and see what's going on. As you can see, even though we have set course settings in the API side, it's still being rejected. This is happening because Function App API authentication is forcing every request to be authenticated, including the pre-flight checks. So to overcome this, we need to set up API management. Let's go and create an API management resource. Let's go to our resource group. Click on add and let's search for API management. Let's click on create. Again, the subscription and the resource group is pre-populated. Let's go with the default region. Let's give a resource name, organization name, and the administrator email. We will use default values for the rest of the settings. We will go on to review and create. Let's click on create. Creating an API management resource can take up to 45 minutes. So it's a good time to take a break and come back. Once the API management resource is created, let's open it. Let's go to APIs. Let's scroll down. Let's select Function App. We are now going to import the endpoints from our Function App into the API management. Let's select our Function App. Click Select. Let's select all functions. Let's change the API URL suffix to just API. Click Create. Now we need to add couple of policies into inbound processing. One is for course validation. The other one is for authentication token validation. Let's add the course policy. Click on Add Policy. Then click on Allow Cross-Origin Resource Sharing. Go to Full tab. Let's allow Get, Post, Delete and Option methods. Let's allow Authorization Header. Let's copy the URL for the web app. And edit as allowed origins. Click on Save. Let's add another policy. Choose Validate JWT. Go to the full tab. Header that we will be validating is the authorization header. We can skip all these settings. Let's add the audience. We can get the audience from Azure B2C tenant app registrations. Go to API app. Copy the client ID and add it as the audience. For the issuer, let's go back to B2C tenant. User flows. Select the user flow we created. Click on Run User Flow and go to this URL. Once that URL is open, copy the issuer URL, paste it as the issuer. And finally, let's add the OpenID URLs. Copy the URL on the Run User Flow blade and specify it as the OpenID URLs and click on Save. Go to the Settings tab and untick the Subscription Required checkbox and click Save. Let's copy the API base URL because we need to update the API URL in the app.config. Let's update it. Let's go to our storage account and upload the updated config. And let's go back to our web app. Let's refresh it. It should automatically log you in since your current login is still valid. As you can see, the web app can now fetch to-do items from the API. If we open up the DevTools and inspect the to-do items get request, we can see the authorization token. Let's copy it. Open up a new browser tab and let's browse to jwt.io. Let's paste the copied token here. And it should show the decoded values. So there are few important values: issuer, audience, sub and scope. Issuer and the audience values can be used to validate the authenticity of the token. Sub value is unique for each user. We can use this value as the user ID. And the scope will specify the API permissions that the user have. Let's update the util function getUserID to return the sub claim from the token. First, we need to decode the token to get the sub value. For this, we need an npm library. Let's install that. Let's type in npm install jwt-decode space -- save. Let's import the library. Finally, we need to do a scope validation before we return the sub value. Let's update all the function code to use modified getUserID. Let's pass in the request headers. Let's save all the changes and deploy. And now if you go back to the web app and do a refresh, it won't show you any to-do items. That's because get to-do items will filter to-do items by the user ID, and we are no longer using the dummy user ID. So let's create few to-do items for this user ID by importing to-do items. Let's give the function app few seconds to process the upload, and then let's refresh the web app. It will fetch the new to-do items. We can edit them, we can delete them, we can create new to-do items. We have reached the end of the series Building Web APIs with Azure Functions. I hope you found it interesting. Until we meet in another series, stay safe and goodbye. Thank you.